Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories making headlines this evening.
Unless the ANC succeeds in renewing itself, we will perish.
ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on the party's delegates at the National General Council in Boksburg to renew the organization or it will perish.
Intelligence is still gathering and analyzing information that has been received.
The National Police Commissioner says they are confident that they will soon arrest the 3 suspects wanted in connection with the mass shooting incident that claimed the lives of 12 people at a hostel in Sourceville in Pretoria on Saturday.
We cannot allow a situation where a vulnerable group is being used and abused to drive political motives.
And the Home Affairs Department has withdrawn the 90-day visa exemption for Palestinians as part of voluntary immigrations. It has just gone 8 o'clock. Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. My name is Paulette Nell. Thank you so much for joining us this evening as we give you the latest happening in and around your world. Well, let's get straight into it. We begin here tonight. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on the party's delegates at the National General Council in Boksburg to renew the organization or it will perish. In a detailed political overview report, Ramaphosa reflected on the ANC's poor electoral performance in the 2024 general elections. He also touched on the international balance of the forces relating to the onslaught South Africa is facing from the United States of America.
ANC succeeds in renewing itself, we will perish. We must build better and activist branches. We must revive sectorial work. We must strengthen the alliance. We must reassert ANC values and principles.
A clear message from the president of the ANC to renew or die. Organizationally, the ANC is at its weakest, while the alliance is also shaky. The ANC president called on the party's delegates to deliberate on the consequences of the SACP's decision to contest elections alone.
The Secretary General will report on the discussions that have been held with the SACP on a bilateral basis with regard to the decision that their conference has taken. This NGC must discuss the full implications of this decision for our movement and for the alliance.
In terms of the economy, Ramaphosa detailed that South Africa must use its natural resources in the renewable energy space. The Eastern Cape and Northern Cape have seen over 100 billion rands invested in renewable energy projects.
We need to be bold in developing new industries like battery storage, renewable energy components, and electric vehicle production. South Africa has among the best solar and wind resources in the world.
Reflecting on the ANC's bad performance in the 2024 general elections, Ramaphosa highlighted to delegates some of the factors that led to the ANC's electoral decline of 17%, such as the emergence of the MK party, dissatisfaction, unemployment, and lackluster economic growth, service delivery challenges, and the anger and perceptions of widespread corruption. He even called on ANC members to stop displaying their wealth and cars to the population. Samkele Masego, SABC News, Boksburg.
For more on this, we are now joined live by SABC politics and news reporter Nhlanhla Kgatlana, who will be further unpacking today's key discussions. Nhlanhla, good evening. Let's perhaps look at the GNC. It comes at an interesting time. Briefly talk to us about its significance.
Well, thank you so much indeed, coming to you right here at the NGC, where the ANC is meeting for the next 4 days, just to take stock in terms of, those resolutions where the party is, rather, what went wrong. The party meets at an interesting time, as you alluded to. The current leadership is faced with the reality, they have to sleep with the reality that under them, they lost elections in 2024. Divisions within the party, still factionalism still, exist. The renewal part for the party is not as easy as the party thought it would be. And most interestingly, one of his alliance, the SACP, saying that it's going at elections alone, like you alluded to earlier there, President Ramaphosa taking podium there, speaking about the state of the party, what led to the party to be where it is, referring to 2024 elections where the party, for the first time since the dawn of democracy, failed to get majority of votes. The crippling or the fighting in terms of it with its alliance, the ANC trying to convince the SACP not to go at elections, independently, but the SACP, standing firm, saying that they're forging ahead with going at elections independently. The party meets, after 10 years of not meeting in such a gathering of the NGC, now they are meeting to review in terms of those mandates, to check where the party, where they went wrong. We also heard the ANC Secretary General there, one thing that stood out for me, saying that, them losing elections or losing favor in terms of the electorate, it was nothing new. It dates back to more than 15 years ago, over 30 years of democracy, the once, formidable force when, it came to, election performance, failing to get an override majority. Those are amongst, the reality that this current leadership has to sleep with. How do they move from this? How do they reclaim, their position?
Also, the party celebrates 70 years of the Freedom Charter, and amongst its pillars, the people shall govern. That is the vision of the Freedom Charter. Over 30 years since the democracy, where is the party regarding this?
Remarks when it comes to, what the Freedom Charter, it marks 70 years, like you correctly said, but this is a document that was adopted in 1959, rather, where it resonated, it appealed to the majority of, people in the country. And you get a sense that, the party is trying to find, throughout the years leading up to the 70th, you would get those questions where we are with regards to the Freedom Charter. The people shall govern, like you already alluded to. It speaks to democracy itself, the democratic process. And I guess looking at last year, the ANC got a wake-up call with regards to, people governing and saying that we don't want the ANC as a majority party that would govern. This is a fundamental document to democracy. It's a document that created that path in terms of the realization of democracy, a democratic South Africa, a blueprint that would be used by the ANC. The party this evening, amongst their events or amongst things that are going to happen is that it's going to celebrate, it's going to have a dinner with regards, to celebrating the 70th of the Freedom Charter. But the question remains, if this charter, it's in the hearts of, the current leadership, or is it something that, is said, in politics you'd say it's said, just oxymoratically it's said, it's something that you would say just for people to hear, as you know that in politics they say you say what they want to hear and forget about doing what you have said.
Ntantla, thank you so much for your insights. That was a SABC politics news reporter Ntantla Khatlana unpacking today's key discussions at the first day of the ANC NGC. After the break, National Police Commissioner says they will soon arrest the suspect wanted in connection with the 12 people who died at Sassolville in Pretoria, and Home Affairs has withdrawn the 90-day visa exemption for Palestinians. More on this after the break. Welcome back to this now. National Police Commissioner General Fanny Masemola has just visited the family of witness D, who was shot and killed at his home in Brakpan on Friday. Since identified as Marius van der Merwe, a former Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department officer, witness D was killed just weeks after testifying before the Madlanga Commission tasked to look into allegations of criminality, political interference and corruption in the criminal justice system.
We also have 3 persons of interest that we believe can assist us in resolving this case. We've taken one in for questioning, and we are closing in on the suspects. We think we will be able to update the nation as we go along. But for now, we are only doing questioning for one of the people. We will get to the others, and that's how far we went in terms of people that we suspect are linked to the Marius van der Merwe case. We must also say that there was an attempted murder which we all aware of on Marius van der Merwe in September 2025, in which he indicated that there were 2 wild males that were following him with a bakkie. We are still looking for the murder weapon that was used for this current case now. Possible motives, we currently cannot indicate as to what is the motive. There are possibilities of every angle.
In addition, Masemola says that they are confident that they will soon arrest the 3 suspects wanted in connection with the mass shooting incident that claimed the lives of 12 people at a hostel in Sawsville in Pretoria on Saturday. 13 other people were wounded.
A member of the victims of the Sawsville Tavern shooting is devastated after losing 3 loved ones and 5 others still fighting for their lives in hospital. He says he's too afraid to reveal his identity, fearing for his safety, as the motive behind the attack is still unknown. He says the incident has left him in shock.
I got a call while I was in Joburg and about to go to my piece job, and decided to leave everything and come here and got the place full of police, other law enforcement, and ask who got injured, only to find out that 3 lives have left me.
National Police Commissioner General Fanny Masemola visited the scene of the mass shooting where 12 people, including 3 children, were killed.
Intelligence is still gathering and analyzing information that has been received. In no time, we are confident we will find 3 suspects, which we do have an idea who they are.
We call upon the police and we encourage them with the report they've just given to the media and to the community to really ratchet up and do their level best. First of all, in apprehending those who have committed this heinous crime.
Masemola says they are making progress on the assassination of Marius van der Merwe, or Witness D, as he was known in the Madlanga Commission. He says 3 persons of interest have been identified and 1 has already been questioned as part of the ongoing investigations. Nonhlanhla Ntshingela for SABC News, Pretoria.
To this now, the Home Affairs Department has withdrawn the 90-day visa exemption for Palestinians as part of voluntary immigrations. The department says that this is after investigations by national intelligence structures that identified ongoing abuse of the 90-day visa exemption.
Short-term visas are common for the country, but they are used to incentivize tourism and short-term travel. Recently, the 90-day visa regime was canned due to chartered flights landing in the country with no verification or accommodation, nor were the passengers willing to be declared asylum seekers.
We cannot allow a situation where a vulnerable group is being used and abused to drive political motives. Therefore, we stand with the government of South Africa as they continue to push forward in the International Court of Justice to find justice for the people of Palestine.
The ACTP, which is a proponent of Israel, has welcomed the decision.
The ACTP feels vindicated. While not insensitive to the plight of refugees, we questioned how a plane carrying Palestinians could be chartered to South Africa, seemingly without the proper logs, administration, official documentation, and vetting of passengers coming into the country.
In a statement, the EFF says it supports South Africa's decision to protect the integrity of its borders and immigration system. Pulelani Philip, SABC News, Parliament.
Welcome back. And now here's the latest market update as recorded at 7:30 this evening. Well, with that, we now give the reins to the weather desk for the latest in temperature changes. Stay right there. Thank you very much, and everyone. Welcome to the weather desk. Now let's take a quick look at what to expect in our weather details for this evening going into tomorrow. Clear skies over the southwestern parts of the country, but as you move into the central and eastern parts, isolated showers and thunder showers expected over KwaZulu-Natal into the Free State, northern parts of Northern Cape, as well as the western regions of the Northwest Province. Scattered as you move into eastern parts of Eastern Cape, central and western KwaZulu-Natal, all the way into Mpumalanga, southern Limpopo, Gauteng, as well as parts of the Free State and the Northwest Provinces. Tomorrow, those scattered showers are expected to spread along the eastern regions of the Eastern Cape Province into most of KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga, Gauteng, Limpopo, as well as the Northwest and eastern regions of the Free State. Isolated, however, as you move into the central and western parts of the Eastern Cape, into southern Western Cape, as well as the central parts of the Free State, into the northeastern corner of the Northern Cape Province. The extreme western parts of the country can expect clear and sunny skies ahead of tomorrow. Severe thunderstorms expected over parts of KwaZulu-Natal into northern eastern parts of the Eastern Cape, central and northern Free State, into Gauteng, Mpumalanga, as well as parts of Limpopo and the Northwest. Tomorrow, those severe thunderstorms expected to continue still in KwaZulu-Natal, the Free State, Gauteng, the Northwest, as well as Limpopo and Mpumalanga, with high felt fire danger conditions expected in the west. Overnight temperatures are expected to remain fairly cool for most parts of the country. 17 in Bloemfontein overnight, 15 here in Johannesburg, 16 in Pretoria, 21 in Durban, 19 Richards Bay there, 18 in East London, Graafrenet 15, George 14 overnight. Sutherland will be cold with an overnight minimum of 9 degrees. Maximum temperatures to peak to highs of 33 in Bloemfontein, 29 in Johannesburg, warm in Durban with a maximum of 29, East London 25, Cape Town also expecting to peak at a maximum of 25. That's all from the weather desk. That's where we're going to park it for tonight. Much gratitude for joining us. Let's meet again next time. For now, it's good night. God bless.